drive it. That's expensive. Oh, there you go.
Welcome to the Tesla Design Studio, where we've held many product unveilings before. Hope you guys all have a really great time tonight. I think I've never seen so many cameras in my entire life. Cameras everywhere. So we're going to start off by just talking a bit about how did we get here. You know, what are the things that have led to this day? What are the cars that, like, how did Tesla start out? How did we, you know, where were we 10, 11 years ago? What has happened over that intervening time? You know, because it occurred to me that a lot of people, they only heard about Tesla maybe a year or two ago, and, you know, electric cars are kind of like taken for granted, but there was a time when electric cars seemed very stupid. And it wasn't that long ago. And the idea of creating a car company was stupid, of course, and then making an electric car company was like stupidity squared. And so let's take a look at the first car we ever made, the Tesla Roadster. It's a bit small. It's great. It's great. So the crazy thing is, if you go back 11 years today, Tesla had made one car. That car. That's serial number 1 of Tesla. So that's my car, actually. And on February 2008, we literally only made one car, that car. And it didn't really work very well, I have to say. It broke down a lot. And it took us another 3 months just to make the second car. And now we've made about 550,000 cars. And after the Roadster, well, essentially, what happened with the Roadster is we said, okay, we want to make a car, we want to really break the mold about how do people think about electric cars. To think about electric cars being slow and ugly and poor performance. So we wanted to have a sports car, a car that is fast, looks good, sexy. That's right. You took the words out of my mouth. So, exactly. Sexier. So the Roadster, the reason we did a sports car is we wanted to create a car that would break the mold for electric vehicles, and that would be sexy and fast and long range, and that's why we did the Roadster. People say that, well, you want to be able to make a car with those specifications, and if you do, nobody will buy it. So we had to prove those two things wrong. And then after we made the Roadster, they said, okay, sure, you can make some toy sports car, but you can't make a sedan. You can't. There's no way you can compete with the luxury sedans that are gasoline, because they're the best. And there's no way you can make an electric car that's like that. So we did. Model S. Exactly. So noisy. Where are all the fumes? Where's the exhaust pipe? Where do you put the gasoline? Yeah. So we actually started designing that car in the rocket factory. So we didn't have a design studio. But we took a little corner of the rocket factory and Franz joined. And we just, with a tiny crew in a corner of the rocket factory, we designed that car. I think that car was really important because it was competing against the best of the gasoline cars. So if you can make an electric car that can beat the best of the gasoline cars, it's a very powerful statement to prove that you can go electric. So then, working from the Model S, which, by the way, in terms of where the name comes from, actually, I like calling things what they are. So Roadster is called Roadster because it's a roadster. There is no good word for sedan. So we can call it the sedan. It wouldn't work. Or saloon. There's just like literally no word. So the Model S stands for sedan. And this is how out of touch I was. I actually didn't realize at the time that Model S also means models. and then I had at one point a license plate that said Model S2 because it was like the second production Model S. And it was like, and as I was walking away from my car, I said, "Wow, what a jerk! His license plate says Models 2." Yeah, okay. Better not have that license plate. So, but then going from the Model S, it was like, okay, we want to make the best SUV in the world. We want to do something. We kind of got carried away actually with the Model X. It's like let's have practically every technology and whiz-bang thing we could possibly think of. The Model X is like, as a car, it's like a Fabergé egg meets a spaceship. It's like. It was insanely difficult, but it is an amazing vehicle. Let's bring it out.
Cool. I see what you're doing there.
Yeah. You can see a certain position forming, maybe. So, the Model X, like I said, it really feels like a Fabergé egg spaceship, it's X for crossover SUV. But then after we had the Model S and the Model X, I thought it'd be pretty funny if we had the Model E.
Except for
but then like Ford threatened to sue us, Ford killed sex. But I said, what if we call it the Model 3? Because that's completely different from me. They said, that's fine. So with the Model 3, let's bring out Model 3.
Oh my god, there's gonna be sex on stage.
That's right, exactly. Exactly, smart summon with a person. So we made the original Roadster, the Model S, the Model X, the Model 3, and then we also then made the new generation Roadster, which we'll bring in, or maybe it's over there. Oh, it's coming in. New Roadster. Exactly. So. There we go. Yeah. Hey, sure. So, yeah, we have the original Roadster, the new Roadster. Yeah. And then, hey, sure. And then the semi. Actually, the Tesla semi drove here non-stop all the way through the Bay Area.
We could have cut right.
We want. Oh, they turned the headlights off.
So the Tesla semi, a 500-mile range electric semi. I learned actually only after naming the thing that semi has two meanings. It's semi-sexy. So, yeah, so we're really excited about bringing those products to market. So that's sort of talking about our products. But then the factories are as much the part, if not more, than the vehicles themselves. In fact, I really think like the difficulty and value of manufacturing is underappreciated. It's insanely difficult. It's like relatively easy to make a prototype and extremely difficult to mass manufacture that prototype or to mass manufacture a vehicle reliably and at scale. But even for rockets, I'd say it's probably a factor of 10 harder to design the manufacturing system for a rocket than to design the rocket. And for cars, I'd say it's maybe 100 times harder to design the manufacturing system than to design the vehicle itself. That's what the free market. I don't mean to have it in black and white. It's like it's not so long ago. They didn't even have color cameras back then. It was 2010. But it was very bleak. It's like essentially when we acquired the Fremont factory, which used to be called Numi, people sort of thought, oh, you've got a car factory. Now, if you have a car, they sort of think if you have a car factory, you can just make any car. It's like, no, that's like saying you've got a box. That box can have anything you want in it. No, only if you make the thing in the box. So, although we did get we had get a very good deal on the Numi factory, Toyota and General Motors actually took all of the good equipment out, and anything that was like so useless it wasn't even worth the scrap was left. So it literally looked like that, but in color. And it took an enormous amount of effort by a very talented team to actually turn